Hey friends, Diana here from Garden Love. If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you want to start growing Laurel Bay. You want to know how to do it, whether it's in the ground or in a container, because maybe you live in a weather where the temperatures get too low and you can't keep it outdoors. So the pot, or maybe you live in a small patio and you just want to have a pot where you can harvest your own amazing Laurel Bay. You probably want to save money because these do get very expensive for just a few leaves, and also you don't know what you're bringing into your home if you're not growing it yourself, and you want to have endless amount of supplies for you and your family. This video is for you. As we all know, this spice is very popular in a lot of cultures. I know that it is for the Hispanic community. We use this to cook our stews, our soups, and even put it sometimes in rice while it's cooking. It's very popular, but this is actually native to Mediterranean. And today I want to talk to you about what are the ideal growing conditions for this tree and the nature of this tree. As you can see here, it is actually, let's see, I'm about 5 feet something. This is probably 7 feet tall, but not all trees grow this big. It also depends on the conditions and how you're taking care of it and where you are at. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and break it all down for you. If for some reason you live in a place that is in zone 8 and below, because this does grow on zone 8 and above, you're gonna have to grow it in a container. And don't worry, we're gonna get into that. Growing in a container is actually very easy. It's a very pretty tree, very manageable. It doesn't have to be a big container. We'll get into details in just a bit. If you're not sure what growing zone you are in, you can always type in on Google and search growing zone for zip code, and you enter your zip code. The USDA website will actually pop up and you can get your answer there. Let me show you how this tree was planted here. This was planted about 4 years ago, and as you can see, the trunk is pretty big. It has drip irrigation. I'm in zone 9B, so it's definitely in a zone where it can thrive and grow. However, I do have another tree that got planted at the same time, literally feet away, and I'm going to show you guys in a little bit, and it didn't grow as big and vigorous as this one, and I'm going to point out the differences that I did between both of them so you know what you're doing if you're planting it near other plants. So let's go over there and let me show you. This side of the garden took a lot longer to get established, so I have a lot less things growing over there, and due to that fact, I was concerned that my Laurel Bay wasn't going to thrive and grow. So what I started to do, I started to dig up holes and basically add all my kitchen scraps, and I was basically fertilizing the soil right around the Laurel Bay tree, which means that the worms were going to come, get the food, and irrigate the soil, which they love while draining soil, and oxygen to their roots, and they started feeding this amazing tree. So that's the fourth thing that I did different between this and her sister. This is my Laurel Bay sister, and as you can tell, this Laurel Bay is much smaller compared to the other one. The other one had to be about 7 feet tall. This is probably about 5 feet tall, and they got planted exactly at the same time, only a few feet apart. And now a few things that I want you to consider when you're planting your fruit tree. For one, they love well draining soil, but they also like to be watered consistently. Now let me tell you about another thing that I noticed difference between the big sister and the little sister is that the big sister actually gets more morning sun than the little sister. I'll show you in a little bit the buildings and the big oak trees that kind of block the morning sun, so this tree gets a little bit less sun. Sun is a big factor when it comes to Laurel Bay. They love a lot of sun, so anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a day. If you have to grow this in a container, you're gonna want to make sure that you have a window to put it next to once is inside during the winter. If you are going to grow it in the ground, a few things to consider, since you are probably in zone 8 and up, and those zones tend to get pretty hot during the summer. You're gonna want to add mulch. Mulch is a big factor to growing just about anything in the garden, and I usually contact the arborists in my area who are cutting trees, and I ask them to deliver free mulch. So you can do the same and use that mulch to cover all of your fruit trees and even your vegetable garden, preferably mostly your fruit trees, but it works for the vegetables as well. This is actually one of my favorite places to come and sit and enjoy the sun, and I'm pretty comfortable here. So let's continue to talk a little bit more about growing your Laurel Bay in the ground, and then a little bit we're gonna go see my Laurel Bay that's in a container, and I'll talk a little bit more about the pros and cons and what to do to make sure that your Laurel Bay is thriving in a container. All right, so if you're going to plant this tree, you're probably wondering when to plant this tree. Just like most other trees, you're gonna wanna plant this tree early spring to allow the tree to actually get its roots established in the ground before it starts to get too hot. Because just remember that when any tree is hot, they're gonna get really thirsty. And if they don't have well-established roots, they're not gonna be able to drink as much as they need to sustain their foliage, their leaves, and continue to grow. I love it when the sun comes out, which it keeps coming in and out since it's there's a lot of clouds out here. But that's another point that I want to point out, that yes, we do need 6 to 8 hours for your tree to thrive. Ideally, you want it to have afternoon shade, because if you live in zone 8 and up, you know that the sun is pretty harsh anytime after the afternoon, like 4, 5, 6. So if you can put it in a place that's going to get most of its sun from the morning, from sunrise to sunset, that would be ideal. I am facing west, so yes, all of my plants here on this hillside are getting morning sun, and thankfully when sunset hits, this hill behind me covers the sun before sunset. On how big your plant is when you originally get it, it's going to depend on how long it's going to take before you harvest some more Laurel Bay leaves, and how fast your plant grows. Obviously, if you have a pretty good size plant, this one I can consider it a pretty good size plant, and I can already harvest some of these. I wouldn't be topping them off or cutting off a branch to harvest. I would just come and get what I need when I need it. If I wanted to have a large harvest, I would come to this tree, and yes, I can take a branch and cut it here, turn it upside down. Actually, I would probably hose it down first to make sure that they're clean. Then take a piece, turn it upside down, and let it air dry somewhere kind of dark and not humid in my house or in my garage. And then eventually come and take the leaves and put them in a jar, which is what I do every year. I usually come and take a large harvest and put in a jar, have them ready. I have a lot of family members that love to cook with the spice, and they usually ask me for some, and I usually have some ready to go. So this tree actually thrives in zone 8 and up, and if you live in those zones 8 and up, that it would be ideal for you to put it in the ground. But if for some reason you don't have the space, you can also grow it in containers, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Let me show you my Laurel Bay tree that's actually growing in a container. This is a wine barrel made out of plastic. It's about, maybe I would say, 40 to 50 gallon container. I've grown a Laurel Bay in a much smaller container than this, and there is a few container selections that you can choose from to grow this tree. I'm going to show you guys here on the screen a few other options you want to grow them in. Things to consider. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have killed one Laurel Bay and I learned from it. So I don't consider it a failure, I consider it a success and a learning lesson. What I learned from this tree is that they do not like to sit in water. They do not like a lot of water. They do like to get regular water, so scheduling a watering system or you watering your plant in a pot is the perfect thing you can do in order for this little plant to succeed in a container. You got to keep in mind that when you're growing anything in a container, the only resources that it has to water and to mulch and for fertilizer is you, because they can put their roots down deep and go searching for what they need in order for them to thrive and grow. So you're gonna want to make sure that you give it a good watering system. So it's just gonna depend on your climate, okay? If you're growing this in a container due to the fact that you don't have a lot of space, but not necessarily because it's not in the growing season, that's something to consider, okay? Also the soil, you're gonna want well draining soil. Okay, if you live in a very hot climate, you might want to be tempted to get something that holds a little bit more moisture. I'm going to caution you against that, and I am going to advise you to just stick to something that drains really well, because you can always add more water, but you can't remove water once it's waterlogged. So that's something for you to consider. The container, okay? Some containers like plastic holds more moisture than, I don't know, other containers such as this. Terracotta plants actually have a lot of pores, so they tend to dry out a lot sooner. So if you do plant it for aesthetic reasons in a terracotta, which I don't blame you, I love terracotta pots as well, just make sure that you are checking your plant a little bit more often, making sure that it's getting the adequate water. There is some pots that have glaze and they tend to hold a little bit more moisture, so that's something that's going to help you choose a container. Most trees have little feeder roots that are right below the first layer of soil, so it's very important that you add mulch, especially in the hot summer days when everything's drying out. You're not going to want to have to consistently water your pot daily, because let me tell you why. One of the reasons is because you're going to water daily and the lower part of the soil is actually going to be wet and moist, where it's only the top layer that's getting dry. You don't, like I said, this tree does not like to sit in water, does not like that much water. It just likes consistent watering. So you're going to want to put mulch. If you can't find mulch, you're going to want to find big rocks, which is what I did with the tree right behind me, because the mulch was just not doing it. For some reason, the tree's struggling and it needed some way to help the roots stay down. So I put big rocks on it. You can do that. You can even put other little pots on top of it so it can help keep the moisture during the summer days when it's really hot. But just keep in mind that those little pots might grow some roots and start growing into there. So just like keep an eye on that, or put a little plate to hold the little water from the other pot so it doesn't start growing roots into your Laurel Bay. Another thing, let's talk about maintaining this tree. Obviously, this tree is pretty large. So what I'm going to want to do, because I want to keep it somewhat of a reachable height, and I want it to get a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and make it look a little fuller, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and chop these branches, so that way it can start growing outward branches. I'm probably not going to harvest from this tree for the next year, just to let it get established. It's been here for about a year, maybe a little bit less than that. I actually got this tree pretty big, so I got lucky to find this tree. These trees are great for privacy fences or for hedges. Even if you put them in a pot, if you train them well. Look at this. I'm going to show you in a little bit how it's growing branches down below, and that's what I want to encourage, because I want this tree to be fuller, not tall. So I'm going to chop them up, and I suggest that if you want the same, to do the same thing. Don't be afraid to do that. I would not recommend you do that during the winter. I would recommend that you do it during spring to allow it to give time to sprout and to heal. Don't do it right before winter, because the tree slows down in growing. So you don't want it to, the moisture and the rain and the cold, to damage your tree. So just do it right now during the spring to allow your tree to start to heal and start growing and branching out. Now, I usually have a little wire in here protecting my tree, because my chickens tend to want to scratch and dig up things, and you don't want that. You don't want your chickens or your dog or your cat to start damaging the roots that this tree has taken its time to get established. You want to make sure that you are often allowing it to thrive and grow. Which brings me to the next point. What are you going to fertilize? Okay, from my experience of having this tree for a couple years in containers, I don't fertilize as much, but what I do add is compost, worm castings, and maybe once a year I'll do a little light fertilizer at the beginning, mostly like the end of spring, closer to summer, and that's all I do, because they are not heavy feeders. They thrive and grow in very unideal conditions as long as you're in zone 8 and up. But the biggest key is having a regular watering schedule and making sure that it's not getting waterlogged. So make sure whatever container you get, that you drill plenty of holes down below. Okay, I would suggest maybe like a dime to a nickel size holes in order for the tree to have well draining, because that is going to be the key to succeeding growing a Laurel Bay tree in a container. And don't do what I did a few years ago where my tree died because it only had one little hole at the bottom of the container and it wasn't enough to drain, and it also didn't have the best soil. So I'm gonna put some pictures up above so you guys can see the soil I recommend. I understand that you guys see my videos from all over the place, so I don't know if you guys carry these soils, you know, the soils that I buy, but it's worth a try. Maybe you guys can look up the ingredients and try to find something that is comparable to that. I really hope that this information was helpful. I want to hear from you in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Let me make sure, nope, that I cover this because I don't want them going in here and trying to scratch everything out of it. There we go. Doesn't look that appealing, but at least my tree will be protected and they won't scratch the things. That would hold off until I add mulch or I add rocks.